Thinking is the primary business of life. Welcome to another episode of Self-Employed Success Secrets, Monday edition. On today's episode, we're going to talk about how thinking can help you create the business of your dreams for you and the business of your dreams for others, okay? So that it's a dream come true for you and it's a dream come true for others, okay? I heard a quote that said, it's not the work that makes you wealthy, it's the thought behind it. Thinking or thought is essential to business development. The main point I'm making this video is that the thinker wins, okay? I'm gonna tell you how I first got into self-employment, okay? When I got my first client, so originally, I got my first client by I went to a networking event in Atlanta. And then I talked about how time went on and that I moved to Seattle and things kind of changed. And so I had to start back over. And then when I was about to start back over, I had to think to myself, how can I make this work? And this is the key point, okay? Thinking will help you get to where you want to go in your business. I'll say I called this person that I knew named Amy. I worked at a law firm for 6 months before I worked at MagMutual, and Amy worked at the law firm. She would come help the law firm every now and then. So I reached out and called her. I was thinking in my mind, I knew she was always busy. I knew no one was helping her. So I was like, I have an accounting degree. I can do these things. I'll reach out and help her. Now think to yourself, in what ways can you use thinking to make your life better like I did? Whatever your business may be, think about, okay, what can I do to get to where I'm trying to go? And one thing I've learned about thinking is that it makes things, it truncates things, it makes it short, it makes life more efficient, okay? Like, I'll give you a perfect example. I work in the accounting field, and accounting is very incremental. There's transactions like every day. The businesses I work with are smaller businesses. They don't have a whole bunch of transactions. Okay, the regular way of doing it would be to charge hourly. That's how most accountants do it. But what I did was like, okay, instead of charging hourly, I'm just gonna charge for what I do, for results. Okay, so instead of me doing it every day, I have some clients where I'll work on just one day for 30 minutes. I do that all month, and then I get paid. It's still worth it to them because the work is getting done. They don't care how much time I put into it. They just care as long as I get it done. And that's what I mean by you've got to think. Thinking, my first point I want to make is that thinking makes life more efficient. And remember, business is really all about efficiency. Really, a fantastic definition of business to me is that business is doing more with less, okay? So that means efficiency is the undercurrent, efficiency is the undercurrent of having a business, okay? You've got to be efficient every day, and thinking will make things more efficient, okay? Remember, the thinker wins. How can you think today about what you're doing? About your business, about being self-employed? I'm sitting here in a park. Let's say you're a yoga instructor. Like, let's think about it contextually, okay? Remember, thinking is like you're contextualizing constellations. You're putting things in the right area, like the right ecosystem, which is the context, and then you connect the key points that work. For example, with Amy, the context was she's doing accounting work, okay? Think about how this relates to you. The context that she was doing accounting work, I have a degree in accounting, I can help her, I know her, she needs help. I had to connect those dots. That's what thinking does. It connects the dots, makes things more efficient. It truncates it. Let's say you're a yoga instructor. I'm sitting here in a park. Let's say you're a yoga instructor in, I don't know, San Marcos, California. Or no, let's say you're a yoga instructor in Hermosa Beach, California, okay? It's sunny 70% of the year. And people naturally like sunshine. Think about most people are just like you. You could have your yoga studio out in the park and just do that. You could have get 40 people in the park, be a yoga instructor, charge them enough to where you pay everything. You can only work one day out of the month and get paid. Okay, that's why I think, remember, the context is the park and the yoga instructor. You put those together. What is the context in your business? How can you put things together? I saw a quote that said, until you control your thoughts, you'll always be poor. You'll always be poor until you can learn to control your thoughts, okay? Your mind makes money. Trade ideas for money. Where do ideas come from? They come from up here. We gotta take some time to think, okay? The quality of our life is gonna follow the quality of our thoughts, okay? Think about it today on this Monday. How would you describe your thinking life? Do you entertain earworms? Are you always walking around with a song in your head? That's a big key sign that you're not thinking. Remember, the thinker wins. You got to do it. You can't do what everybody else is doing. Most people are not thinking. Most people are copycatting. Most people copy others because it's easier to copycat. It takes no thought to be like, oh, well, he's doing it, I'm going to do it too. That's what most of us do. We look to the left and to the right instead of looking inside, thinking, what do I think about this particular thing? So remember that. My first point is that thought makes things more efficient. My second thought is you've got to contextualize your thinking. Context and constellations. Connect the context and constellations, okay? Connect the context with constellations of thought, okay? That's my second point. My third point is you've got to take time to look around and observe, okay, where have I been? Where am I now? Where am I going? That's another key way of thought. Link your thought together with the past, present, and future, okay? This stuff is really important because it can make the difference in your life, all right? Your life can become a dream come true, but it literally starts with you, your thinking, what you're thinking about. And also when it comes to thinking, it's good to think logically. You got to think 2 + 2 = 4. Because your thinking's got to work in the real world, okay? Think to yourself, remember, the thinker wins, the thinker wins, the thinker wins. What are you not thinking about? What do you need to think more about, okay? Think. How can you make your business successful? How can you make whatever you're doing successfully? If you take the time to think, you will get ideas. Instead of focusing on what everybody else is doing, TikTok, Facebook, whatever, trying to figure out what their cousin is doing, whatever. Take some time to sit and just think to yourself and be like, hey, how can I make things more better? How can I make things more efficient? How can I connect the context with constellations? Okay? Thought goes like this. You connect the dots and then things become more efficient, things become more better. And you can use that to create the business you want that makes not only you happy, but makes other people happy. And that's when you really want. Because I've seen it in my own life. You got to think. I got a client because I was thinking, you know what? I got to do something to stand out. I went to their house and put a resume in their mailbox, and they were just like, man, you know, you did a really good job. That stuck out to them. They're like, we like that. And then also I connected that to a thought I read about in a book. And this is another thing. Books will help create the treasure chest of things you need to constellate, but you have to put together the constellation. Like I read in a book that said, if you are persistent, you will get it. If you're consistent, you'll keep it. Now, I was persistent enough to get that person to pay me money. You got to be consistent enough to keep it, meaning that when they say things like, oh, we hired you because you listen, we hired you because you're detail-oriented, you got to keep listening and being detail-oriented and connect those dots to the future. Remember, where we've been, where we are, where we're going, okay? This is the power of thought, all right? Thinking will truly make your life easier, okay? As they say, knowledge is peace, all right? Knowing things will bring peace to your life. Okay, use these tips to help you to go farther in your business and be better. Okay, remember, the first thing is that thinking makes your life more efficient. Business is doing more with less. Second is connect the context of what you're doing to constellations of thought. Okay, connect them. What's my context? I use a yoga instructor. You're a yoga instructor. How can I do what I'm doing in a cost-effective way? I can go to a park and do it. There's so many ways you can do this. And it's not standardized. You can't just be like, oh, this is the way to think about it. You have to think about it. You have to figure out the puzzle for yourself. This is one of the hard things about entrepreneurship. You have to create the puzzle and put it together by yourself based on your own disposition. I can't tell you how to think. I know how I think, but I can't tell you how you to think if you're going to go farther than what you're doing. If you take the time to think right now, your life will go up just by sitting down and thinking, what can I do to make this better? How can I connect the dots? How can I make things more efficient? How can I connect the past, present, and future into what I'm doing now and use that to my advantage and for other people's advantages? You're looking for mutual advantages. That's as efficient I think as life can get, is when you've got mutual connections. Like you're getting better at the same time I'm getting better. I'm spending less time doing it because of how we're doing it. And it connects to other things. Okay, so take some time to think about that today. And remember, as always, unsuccessful people that make decisions based on their current situations, but successful people, you hopefully, make decisions based on where you want to be, okay? Thank you so much. Bye.